Trigger warning.
It's Thanksgiving, and you know what that means. As you try and enjoy some downtime with your family, you'll undoubtedly find yourself sitting across from a social justice warrior at your Thanksgiving table trying to force-feed you white guilt. After all, it's your ancestors who committed mass genocide against the Indians. I'm sorry, Native Americans. I'm sorry, indigenous? The ones who do the mouth thing. We'll play it safe and go with Redskins. Only one problem. What they're trying to feed you is unadulterated, plain roaming buffalo feces. All right, to preface this, yes, there were some heinous crimes committed on behalf of the settlers, Europeans, that are unforgivable, and I've benefited as a result with white privilege, blah, 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 but some of the BS needs to be called out. Civilizations clash. That's happened since the beginning of time. Yes, war sucks, but it doesn't give the right to leftist teachers, social justice warriors to lie about a non-existent horseback culture, peaceful Native American who was taken out by smallpox blankets and painted with colors of the wind.
How?
So before you dummies hang that dream catcher from your rear view mirror, that's another problem we'll talk about. Are you planning to fall asleep at the wheel? You're a jackass. I don't care if you do have a dream catcher in your car. You fall asleep at the wheel with over 2 tons of steel, glass, and gasoline behind you. It's going to be a bad dream. No one wakes up from that refreshed. But it's time to put your surgical mask on like Japanese do in the face of SARS, because you're about to smell some sacred cows being burned. Let's debunk some of the most common politically correct Thanksgiving myths. Myth: the Native Americans were a peaceful culture to whom the concept of war was foreign. Fact: many tribes were conquering assholes. Native Americans warred with each other since forever. Sometimes it was over hunting or farming ground, sometimes it was revenge. But the truth is, the only way settlers were able to conquer this land was with the assistance of Native Americans themselves, who wanted to settle the score with other who they viewed to be more Polish tribes than themselves. You think Cortez took over stuff with 500 conquistadors? No, it was the 50,000 plus Native Americans who'd had it up to here with being enslaved, raped, brutally tortured, and forced to carry gold for the other native Aztecs. Same thing further north. The big strategy of the Europeans wasn't to kill everybody. You give some tribes some fire, water, and boom boom sticks, let them do the dirty work.
Here! Have fun!
Some of the Redskin tribes were the most brutal in existence. Some of them practiced enslavement, rape, cannibalism. They would sometimes target women and children. For example, the Comanches would butcher babies and roast people alive. And where do you think we learned the fine art of scalping?
But father, what's that Indian doing?
No, we mustn't say Indians, they're indigenous.
The indigenous. What's that indigenous doing?
I agree, it is rather curious.
Hey guys!
Oh my God!
Myth: Native Americans were an advanced society. Truth: not even close. Smell that? It's your sacred cow and it's already extra well done. Don't worry, I scalped her first and made the other cows watch. Unlike ancient Rome, Greece, China, or really any other advanced empire that had existed long before we came here with the Native Americans, they didn't have any kind of advanced plumbing, transportation, mathematics, or really anything that's led to you watching this right now on your iPhone.
Oh, you're just being ethnocentric.
Yes. That whole beautiful horseback Indian culture you read about, it's a lie. They hadn't even domesticated horses. Not only that, they didn't use the wheel. No, really. 1400 AD, no wheel.
I say, good man, why don't you just roll it? You know, roll it. Roll.
I know this one's not a moral argument. The point is, when you're that far behind, the clash of civilizations is that much worse when the wheel-using New World catches up to you. Myth: the settlers deliberately infected Native Americans with smallpox blankets to wipe them out. Truth: only idiots could believe this. Think about this for a second. You believe that Europeans waged microbial biological warfare years before discovery, mass acceptance, or even acknowledgement of advanced germ theory.
Here, father, give them these. They're riddled with germs.
What do you mean? What's a germ?
Well, they're like microscopic organisms, but you can't see them.
You can't see it. Is it magic?
Not quite like magic, but...
He's a witch, Ben!
Here's a witch! I'm
Oh,
not a
he's
witch!
definitely a witch, this one.
Oh my God!
You can search high and low for legitimate historical accounts of smallpox blankets being mass pajamagrammed to peaceful Native Americans, but you won't find it. However, there is some truth to the myth, which brings me to my next point. Myth: Europeans deliberately committed mass genocide, wiping out every last native for sport. Truth. Nope. This brings back in our last point. It is estimated that as high as 95% of Native Americans were actually taken out by diseases. Why? Because Europeans brought with them new diseases to which the natives weren't immune, not only themselves, but with animals with which the Native Americans had had no contact with, because again, they hadn't yet domesticated horses. Again, not judging just because of the lack of advancement as a society. No horses or wheel. No wheel. Sure, there were plenty of bloody, horrendous, unimaginable conflicts that did occur, and when dealing with a more barbaric society and new settlers, generally speaking in warfare, the guys with the boom sticks win. This isn't exclusive to America, and it's not all uncommon. But Europeans weren't hell-bent on destroying every single last indigenous person. As a matter of fact, they were encouraged to reach out to them and try and bring them into the culture and convert them to Christianity. Plus, intermarrying was incredibly common. How else do you explain Angelina Jolie, Johnny Depp, Kid Cudi, and even imaginary Elizabeth Warren claiming to be 1/16th Cherokee?
She's quite pretty, Father.
Yes, she is.
Totally, how?
She makes me feel warm in my wobbly bits.
My bits, too.
In summation, killing is bad, but so is milking, misleading, and guilting future generations for crimes they never committed. Yes, Europeans conquered the Native Americans, instituted a constitutional republic, and advanced in a mere couple centuries what Native Americans weren't able to do for thousands of years beforehand. Yes, it was violent, but once contact has been made, you can't go back. If today we never came here, they saw a plane, guess what? It's gonna start some So turn off this smartphone, go enjoy some turkey with your family, and be sure to tell your social justice warrior cousin at the table to shut his mustached, single-origin coffee drinking hole. If that doesn't work, just hand him a smallpox napkin.
If you like this video, subscribe. Sure, many of these depictions are not historically accurate. They didn't have Buffalo Trace or 357 Magnum. But here we are!